I had
Yeah.
met in Wembley this woman. I was like all happy, and I was by myself. But you meet people like instantly, and so I was walking by, and I met this Korean woman that was there with two of her friends, and they were like 55 or something, and they flew especially to Wembley, and and she was like she was with her phone like taking my video and asking me like how I got into BTS and all that, and I was like yeah, and then I said actually I'm going to Korea next week or in 2 weeks from now, and she said really, you have to like let's exchange Instagram and meet in Korea, and she managed to go to the fifth master, and she gave
Oh my
me,
God. Yeah. I wish.
gave me this as a present.
Oh.
Wow,
cool.
And it was crazy. Like, I don't know if it's common in Korea, but she was like, you have to tell me when you're getting there. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I said, I'm getting on, I don't know, Thursday. And she said, excellent, what's your flight? I'll pick you up from the airport. I'm like, I don't know you. Like,
Oh,
no, listen,
right.
I'll go to the, also it's like a 12-hour flight. So like, no, I'll go to the hotel and then I'll tell you and we can meet up for lunch or something. And she said, no, I'm picking you up. I was like, okay. So she showed up at the airport. She picked me up in her Mercedes.
What?
In Gangnam. She has like a 4-story house in Gangnam.
Woo.
Her husband is a doctor. She's like, has a bar, and she's a sommelier.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and the first and the top two are like their apartment. And so she took me all around, and we went to eat lunch at this very nice place. Like it wasn't Korean barbecue or something else. And then we went to the BT21 store together.
That's just walking into that store is like just throw your wallet on the countertop and walk away.
Seriously, like seriously,
it's terrible.
It's insane. Like this past 2 years, I've been to Japan a lot. I went to Japan for like 4 times, and there's a BT21 in Harajuku. I think most of my money stayed there. Like if I had just a little bit more room in my luggage, I would just go there and buy more stuff.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I don't even have to go anywhere. Online, 50% off menu, you know, like it comes up and I'm like, oh man, this is damaging. This is just not okay. My poor wallet.
It's kind of bizarre. So like they opened up a line store in Hollywood, and like we went every month. It was ridiculous. We went every month and we always came out with so many bags, and we're just like, what happened? But we still went.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, when you come to visit, you have to take me.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I will drive you around and give you the tour of all the BTS things. But yeah, it's amazing how, because I'm kind of more reserved in general, and I never really interacted with anybody through the internet, especially strangers. But suddenly when I started looking into BTS more, and then I was like, I can't be the only one that feels this way about them. I went online and found like ARMY, and they're in so many platforms, right? And it's so true, like it's so welcoming. You go in and suddenly you have all of these friends in a group chat, and you're all talking about it. Yeah, and that energy also transferred for me into concerts as well. So the first concert I ever went to was Love Yourself in LA Staples Center. And I just talked to ARMY in line. I just felt like I was able to open up myself to so many people, which I would never do, because I don't know, it was really interesting for me, that aspect of it. So it's amazing that you met an ARMY in Korea that would just pick you up and like take you around. That's amazing. But also like not surprised.
I was just gonna say that, but not surprising.
Yeah, like ARMY are just, it's like finding a family everywhere. Like again, like I've been traveling a lot, and I travel a lot by myself usually because it's for work. I have a really nice boss that doesn't mind that I take like the week I'm supposed to go to work and then like make it 3 weeks. So yeah, so like we have a lot of conferences and so I travel for that. And so I had to learn, like I'm very much an introvert, and I had to learn like how to yeah, I swear. Like for me, like COVID, like someone asks me why I'm not meeting anyone, and that's fantastic to me. Like no expectations for you. Like everyone, like my parents are not on me for staying on the couch. So yeah, but like I had to learn, and I like trained myself on how to meet people and talk to them, and because it's important like to know how to do networking, or just like it's fun like when you travel by yourself to get to know people. Because I've always been like more of a food culture and people person rather than like beautiful views and mountains and trekking. Like that's not really my style. So part of how you get to know the place is you get to know the people. And so now that you can like instantly find ARMY everywhere, and
Love it.
Like I was in Japan like a month before COVID. It was when they had a concert in Shizuoka, and I was actually to Shizuoka by complete coincidence. It was for someone else is joining. It was completely like a coincidence, and I was in the train, and there were these 2 Japanese girls that had like a BT21 plushie on their like a keychain. And I was like, I traveled with my RJ and Koya to take pictures. So I like pulled one of them out, and they saw it and they smiled, and then I moved to sit next to them, and we started talking, and they don't know English, I don't know Japanese, but we made it work. Thank God for Google Translation. We made it work, and it was like 40 minutes drive, and we were talking, and like everyone on the train were like so confused.
That's so cool that you can meet people like that. My sister did something like that. She's also ARMY. She's a project manager for a big nonprofit. She happened to be at some state conference for the census. And she happened to sit down, and somebody next to her had an RJ keychain. And then my sister had a Koya keychain, and they happened to see it from across the thing. And my sister decided to move from her over to sit next to the lady and start talking to her. And they just had like this huge conversation. And she happened to be a correspondent for the White House previously. And then she switched over into like federal, state level things. And yeah, they just blossomed this friendship, which kind of goes back to the whole like BTS fans are not, 12-year-old screaming raging girls. People who have careers and, older. I'm almost 40, so.
I'm 34. Yeah. Me and my boss were in a conference in Korea, I think it was Gwangju. And and they were like, we were talking again, and I said like, hello, and he said, how do you know? I said, oh, I like BTS. And he was like, did you know that one of them sometimes comes here? And it was like a month before Namjoon went there. And Namjoon's family used to go there like every Christmas. So he was like, did you know that one of them like comes here sometimes? And he was like, and so proud and so happy and in the gala there, the entire like playlist was BTS.
That's so awesome.
So awesome. See all these people like eating and like BTS in the background.
That's awesome.
My poor boss got a full lecture on who is BTS, what are they doing, what's going on.
Oh, I love doing that when people randomly ask. I have a tattoo. I don't know if you can see it.
Do the like makeup trick, like when they do this.
We all have one.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
You're that's it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
So it's cool to like have people ask about it, and then you get to open the door and you're like, do you know BTS? Do you know BTS? Do you know BTS? Yes, I know BTS. And then you just open it.
I'm afraid of that actually.
Oh God, I love it.
So much has to come out if they open that door, so I'm afraid. like a lot will come out.
I have a feeling that there's a reason why the devil emoji is purple.
Oh,
Like,
Yep.
that's exactly for that question. I have a cousin who asked me, he was like sending me this song that's like K-pop inspired. And he said, what do you think? And I said, I don't really like K-pop. And he's like, what? Because he knows I like BTS. What? I said, yeah, I like BTS. He said, so what's the difference?
Oh yeah.
And we ended up doing like an episode for this podcast where I explained to him and his wife a little about BTS.
I love it.
That's perfect.
I love it so much.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
That's the thing with Army, right? Like, don't ask unless you really want to know, because we're gonna give you everything.
Exactly.
I have
Yep.
books.
Yep.
어쩜 표정이 이토록 아름다운 걸